You've been seeing them. The wolf in your dreams. Ravens appearing when you're making major decisions. Snakes crossing your path during transitions you can't explain to anyone else. This isn't random. These three spirit animals are tracking your frequency specifically. They're drawn to the angel-demon split you carry, that dual vibration that makes you simultaneously capable of extreme compassion and extreme destruction. And if you don't understand why they're appearing or what they're trying to stabilize, you're missing critical guidance that could prevent your intensity from tearing you apart. Today, I'm revealing which aspect of your split frequency each animal stabilizes, what happens when you ignore their guidance, and how to work with them consciously instead of just noticing their appearances and wondering what it means. By the end of this video, those mysterious appearances will finally make sense. Quick foundation for anyone new here. Dual vibration beings carry both angelic and demonic frequency within their soul blueprint. Not as metaphor, as actual vibrational signatures. You possess capacity for extreme light and extreme shadow. You can lift someone from darkness and annihilate darkness at its source. People either revere you or fear you, often both simultaneously. Most importantly, you're a bridge between polarities that most humans keep separate. The spirit animals that choose you share this bridging quality. They embody polarity themselves. They match your intensity because lesser frequencies couldn't handle the weight you carry. Each of these three animals stabilizes a different aspect of your split. When you understand which one is appearing and why, you can work with it instead of being confused by it. Wolf finds you first always. If wolves keep appearing in dreams, imagery, stories that capture your attention, or actual encounters, they're responding to your dual frequency. Here's what most people don't understand about wolf energy. Wolves are simultaneously wild and loyal, fierce protectors and dangerous predators, independent sovereigns and devoted pack members. They live the exact tension you carry. For dual vibration beings, wolf stabilizes your fierce loyal polarity. You have the angelic capacity for deep devotion. You'll sacrifice for people you love. You'll protect them with everything you have. But you also have the demonic capacity for devastating force. You can destroy threats without hesitation. You can cut people off completely when boundaries are violated. Most people see these as contradictions. Wolf shows you their complementary forces. Your fierce protection serves your deep loyalty. Your devotion gives your fierceness purpose. One without the other becomes distortion. Here's what happens when dual vibration beings ignore Wolf's message. You become all fierce with no loyalty, burning through every relationship because everyone eventually feels like a threat. Or you become all loyal with no boundaries, giving your protection to people who consume you alive. Wolf won't let you stay in that imbalance. When Wolf appears, it's asking these questions. Are you protecting what actually matters? Are you loyal to the right pack? Are you enforcing boundaries with appropriate force? Or are you either overprotecting or underprotecting? The challenge for dual vibration beings is that you need both solitude and pack. You need alone time to maintain your frequency, but you also need soul family to fulfill your mission. Wolf shows you how to be both lone wolf and pack member, adapting based on what each moment requires. Here's your wolf practice, and it's not comfortable. List everyone you're currently loyal to. Everyone you'd sacrifice for. Everyone you're protecting. Then cross out everyone who wouldn't protect you with the same fierceness. Everyone who takes your loyalty but wouldn't defend you. Everyone who expects your devotion but disappears when you need them. Those crossed out names. Wolf is showing you where you're wasting your pack energy. The people who remain, that's your true pack. They can handle your intensity. They match your loyalty. They deserve your fierce protection. Then ask, what does this pack need from my fierce side right now? What boundaries do I need to enforce? What threats do I need to neutralize? Wolf gives you permission to be protective without apology, to be loyal without being consumed, to calibrate your force based on what the situation actually requires. One more thing about wolf medicine. Your fierce protection can become annihilation if you're not careful. You don't just defend your pack, you can completely destroy threats. Wolf teaches you to match your response to the actual threat level. Not every boundary violation deserves total destruction. Not every conflict requires maximum force. Learning to calibrate is the wolf's deepest lesson. If wolf resonates, if you've been seeing wolves and feeling that inexplicable pull toward their energy, comment wolf below. And if you've been dreaming of wolves and waking up with sudden clarity about who belongs in your life, that's wolf doing its work. Pay attention. Then comes Raven. And Raven sees everything. Ravens and crows appear in mythology as messengers between worlds, but for dual vibration beings, Raven serves a specific function. It balances your light-shadow perception and teaches you what to do with penetrating vision. Last week, you saw someone's true intention behind their smile. You knew they were lying. You could feel the manipulation. That's Raven vision. But here's the trap most dual vibration beings fall into. Seeing everything doesn't mean you're supposed to expose everything. Raven is comfortable in darkness. It doesn't fear death, shadow, or the unknown. It moves between light and dark with equal ease, seeing clearly in both realms. This matches your frequency perfectly. You have the angelic capacity to bring light into darkness, to illuminate truth, to expose what's hidden, to help others see clearly. But you also have the demonic capacity to descend into shadow without losing yourself, to understand darkness without being corrupted by it, to see into people's hidden motivations and shadow intentions. The Raven shows you how to move between these realms fluidly without getting stuck in either one. When Raven appears for dual vibration beings, it's often signaling that you're avoiding one pole. Maybe you've been trying too hard to stay in light, rejecting your shadow capacity, pretending you don't see the darkness you clearly see. Or maybe you've been dwelling in shadow, using your sight to expose and judge, forgetting you also carry divine brightness. Raven's message is always balance. It doesn't choose light over dark or dark over light. It moves between them based on wisdom, using intelligence to determine when each realm serves. Here's what most people don't tell you about Raven medicine. Dual vibration beings with Raven as their ally often have prophetic or psychic abilities. You see what's coming because you perceive multiple timelines. You understand hidden motivations because you see both the presented intention and the shadow intention. But Raven vision has a cost. You'll see betrayals before they happen. You'll know someone's going to fail before they try. You'll spot the ending in the beginning, and you can't unsee any of it. You'll be right about people, and no one will believe you until it's too late. You'll warn others, and they'll ignore you until the situation proves you correct. You'll see clearly, and people will resent you for it. Raven doesn't just give you sight, it makes you responsible for what you choose to do with it. The challenge Raven brings is discernment about revelation. Seeing clearly doesn't mean exposing everything you see. Sometimes wisdom means holding knowledge without acting on it. Sometimes it means speaking truth others aren't ready to hear and accepting the consequences. Most dual vibration beings fail this test. They see someone's shadow and immediately expose it. They receive insight and compulsively share it. Then they wonder why people avoid them, why they feel isolated, why their honesty pushes others away. Raven teaches something harder. Sometimes the most powerful use of sight is choosing not to reveal what you see. Here's your Raven practice, and it tests restraint. Next time you see someone's shadow intention clearly, when you know they're lying, when you feel their manipulation, when you can see their hidden agenda, say nothing. Don't expose it. Don't call them out. Don't even hint that you see what you see. Just watch what happens. Watch them reveal themselves without your intervention. Watch the situation unfold exactly as you knew it would. Raven is testing whether you can hold power without using it, whether you can see truth without weaponizing it, whether you trust that truth reveals itself without your force. This doesn't mean you never speak. It means you let wisdom, not impulse, determine when revelation serves. When you master this, Raven gives you something profound, the ability to see clearly without carrying the burden of everyone else's darkness. The capacity to witness shadow without absorbing it. The freedom to move between light and dark without getting trapped in either realm. That's the Raven's gift to dual vibration beings who learn restraint. Have you been seeing ravens or crows more than usual? Especially before major decisions or during times when you're seeing clearly into situations others are missing? Type Raven in the comments. If ravens show up and you suddenly see both possible outcomes of a decision with crystal clarity, you're already receiving Raven guidance, whether you've acknowledged it or not. The final ally is the one most people fear: snake. I need to tell you something about my own journey before I explain what snake stabilizes for dual vibration beings. 3 years ago, I shed an entire identity. Not just a belief or a habit, an entire version of myself that I'd built over decades. The person I'd been, the relationships I'd maintained, the role I'd played in my family and community. All of it became too tight to breathe in. Everyone told me I was changing too much, moving too fast, being unstable. And during that shedding, snake appeared everywhere. In dreams, in imagery, in actual encounters that made no logical sense. I finally understood. Snake wasn't warning me to stop. It was confirming I was right on schedule. For dual vibration beings, snake stabilizes your transformation frequency and helps you integrate continuous evolution without fragmenting. The snake sheds its entire skin multiple times throughout life. It doesn't just change parts of itself. It releases the whole outer layer and emerges renewed. This is the pattern you cycle through repeatedly. Your dual frequency means you transform more intensely than most people. When you shed an identity, you don't just release a belief or habit. You release entire versions of yourself. You might quit a stable job that suddenly feels soul-crushing. You might end a relationship everyone else thinks is perfect. You might abandon a belief system you've defended for years. To observers, you look unstable. To snake, you look right on schedule. Your angel-demon split means both poles undergo transformation simultaneously. When your light frequency expands, your shadow capacity also deepens. When you shed an old identity, both your angelic and demonic aspects evolve. This can feel like being remade at the cellular level. Most people transform once or twice in a lifetime. You transform every few years, sometimes more frequently. Snake shows you that this acceleration isn't chaos. It's your natural cycle. You're designed for continuous death and rebirth because you carry frequencies that require constant refinement. When Snake appears for dual vibration beings, it's often during or right before a major shedding. Your current identity is becoming too tight. The beliefs, relationships, or roles that once fit are now restricting your expansion. Snake's message is permission to release without guilt. You're not abandoning things because you're disloyal or unstable. You're releasing them because you've outgrown them. Your evolution requires shedding what no longer matches your frequency. But here's what Snake doesn't tell you up front. The shedding will hurt. You'll mourn versions of yourself that no longer fit. You'll grieve relationships that can't survive your transformation. You'll feel guilty for outgrowing people and situations that once meant everything. Snake's message isn't, "This will be easy." It's, "This is necessary." The pain of staying in a skin you've outgrown is worse than the pain of shedding it. Staying small to make others comfortable will eventually kill everything authentic in you. Dual vibration beings with Snake as their ally go through cycles that confuse everyone around them. You reinvent yourself in ways that appear random to observers but feel inevitable to you. You release what others think you should keep. You evolve faster than most people can track, and people will judge you for it. They'll call you unstable, unpredictable, unable to commit. They'll say you're running from problems instead of recognizing that you're running toward evolution. Snake validates this pattern. It shows you that constant transformation isn't instability. It's alignment with your soul's evolution speed. Here's your Snake practice, and it requires courage. When you feel the shedding beginning, when current structures start feeling restrictive, honor the process instead of fighting it. Write down everything that's ready to be released. The identity you're outgrowing. The relationships that can't expand with you. The beliefs that once served but now limit you. The roles you've been playing that no longer fit. Be specific. Name what's dying. Then create a release ritual. Burn the paper, bury it, or release it to water. Physical ritual helps your body participate in the spiritual shedding. It gives your nervous system permission to let go. And when people tell you you're changing too much, moving too fast, being unstable, let them say it. Their comfort is not your concern during transformation. Your loyalty is to your evolution, not to their need for you to stay predictable. Write down who's asking you to stay small, not to punish them, but to recognize who can't support your shedding. Then create distance during your transformation. You can reconnect later if appropriate. But during the shed, you need space from people who are trying to keep you in a skin you've outgrown. Snake teaches you that you don't owe anyone an explanation for your evolution. Your transformation is between you and your soul. Everyone else gets to decide whether they can adapt to your new frequency or not. That's their choice, not your responsibility. If you're watching this during a shedding period right now, if your current life is feeling too tight, if you're outgrowing something you can't name yet, if you feel the restlessness that comes before major transformation, comment "shedding" below. Snake is already working with you whether you've acknowledged it or not. Naming it helps the process move more consciously. Here's what's powerful for dual vibration beings. You don't have to choose just one of these allies. Most of you work with all three, because each one stabilizes a different aspect of your polarity. Wolf stabilizes your fierce loyal split. Raven balances your light-shadow perception. Snake supports your continuous transformation. Together they form a trinity of support that matches your complex frequency. They don't ask you to dim your light or suppress your shadow. They show you how to integrate both into coherent power. But here's what you need to understand about working with all three simultaneously. Sometimes their guidance will seem to conflict. Wolf might be telling you to protect your pack fiercely, while Snake is telling you to shed relationships that no longer fit. Raven might show you someone's shadow, while Wolf is asking if they still belong in your pack. When this happens, ask, which animal's medicine does this specific situation require? If it's a boundary violation, Wolf leads. If it's about whether to reveal what you see, Raven leads. If it's about outgrowing something, Snake leads. Pay attention to which animal appears most strongly during specific challenges. That's your signal for which frequency to emphasize. Here's your integration protocol. Morning practice. Ask all three animals what they want you to know today. Wolf speaks about protection and loyalty. Raven speaks about what you need to see or what you need to keep silent about. Snake speaks about what's ready to be released. When making decisions, check in with each animal's perspective. Wolf asks, does this serve my pack? Raven asks, am I seeing this clearly or am I in shadow? Snake asks, is this aligned with who I'm becoming or who I used to be? When you're overwhelmed by your intensity, identify which polarity is out of balance. Too much fierce, not enough loyal. Wolf needs attention. Seeing too much shadow, forgetting your light. Raven needs balance. Feeling stuck in an outgrown identity. Snake is calling. These animals chose you because you can work at their level of intensity. They recognize your dual frequency and know you're strong enough to handle their medicine. Most people can't work with Wolf's fierce loyalty, Raven's penetrating sight, or Snake's continuous transformation. These are not gentle guides. They're powerful allies that match your power. Honor their choice by working with them consciously instead of just noticing their appearances and wondering what it means. In the comments, tell me which of these three animals has been appearing most frequently for you and what you think it's trying to stabilize in your dual frequency. Is it Wolf, asking you to check your pack and boundaries? Raven, teaching you when to speak and when to stay silent? Or Snake, preparing you for a shedding you've been resisting? Your experience might help another dual vibration being understand their own journey. Subscribe for more content on mastering dual vibration energy. My next video explores the dark night of the high-frequency soul and why your spiritual crisis hits harder than everyone else's. That one goes deep. Your spirit animals aren't just showing up randomly. They're reporting for duty because they recognize your frequency and know you need their specific medicine to stabilize your split. Time to work with them consciously.